This lineup is brought to you by IT&E, Life in Motion.
The stations of KUAM, proud sponsor of the 12th Festival of Pacific Arts, KUAM 2016. What we own, what we have, what we share, united voice of the Pacific.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E.
KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia for over 75 years. Matson Navigation, proud sponsor of FestPac 2016. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. Pacific Solar, and King's Restaurant.
Coming right up, one of your senators is accusing his colleague of holding his bills hostage.
Today marks the opening day of Decision 2016.
And we're also going to bring you details on an expedition to research the Marianas Trench. If you're joining us live on KUAM television or watching us all over the world on our YouTube stream, Hafaday and good evening. Thanks so much for tuning in. Well, it is not uncommon for senators to disagree. This we know. However, down at the legislature, accusations are flying as one senator is accused of holding several bills hostage.
Ken Quintanilla has more.
On Monday, Seth Calvo gave testimony on legislation that would help his dad, Manny.
I just wanted to say I'm in favor of this, and I hope you support this bill.
That's Bill 249 that would provide compensation benefits to animal control officers at the Department of Agriculture. It's a job his dad has held for 11 years. And as his family testified, this bill would help with their financial obligations as Manny undergoes treatment for stage 4 cancer. And while it wasn't broadcast on television, it's testimony that may have never been heard, as Senator Dennis Rodriguez Jr. didn't take matters into his own hands by having his own hearing.
And wasn't going anywhere, wasn't seeing the light of day. And so what I did yesterday was move the legislative process forward.
Bill 249, along with his Bill 184 and 271, have sat in the Committee on Finance for some time. The chairs of committees usually set up the hearings.
I don't know what the thinking behind is with holding bills in committee and suppressing the people's voices. But obviously this has to stop.
Senator Michael Nicholas is the chairman for the Committee on Finance.
What senators like to do is they like to create pressure situations in public hearings by calling in all kinds of testimony to try and drive their bills forward. And I don't work like that.
He says what Rodriguez did was disturbing.
For him to be going out and doing his own public hearings whenever he feels like it is just a blatant disregard for our legislative process.
A hearing wasn't scheduled because Nicholas says they don't have the money.
As much as some senators would like to do that during an election year, we can't keep that. We can't keep repeating that practice. So I'm making the hard decision as a committee chair to do what's fiscally responsible and not hear these bills until the funding is available.
Rodriguez, however, says Nicholas has a pattern of behavior that's, quote, completely irrational, accusing him further of stalling on his bond refinance measure last year that resulted in the loss of millions in potential savings. Nicholas says that's wrong, as no one could have predicted where interest rates were going. Meanwhile, it's not just Rodriguez's bills, as Senator Narissa Underwood also has her Bill 243 sitting in Nicholas's committee and not going anywhere.
I have communicated with the committee chair, and I continue to communicate with him to request for a public hearing. And I haven't received any reason why this has not received a public hearing yet. But, I just want to honor the wishes of the people. And that is that they want for us to address the pay raises in one way or another.
Her bill would allow the governor, lieutenant governor, and senators to voluntarily reduce their raises. She's since scheduled a public meeting for Wednesday evening. Nicholas says he's not moving forward with any bills related to increasing pay or giving out tax credits, measures he says will impact the GovGuam budget.
If we move forward any new pay raise related bills, I'm concerned that on the floor an amendment will be made that will affect classified employees.
Nicholas is asking his colleagues in the Guam legislature to look at his perspective, adding it's nothing personal. Rodriguez, meanwhile, says he's looking at every option to move his bills forward. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintanilla.
All right, Ken, thanks so very much. Well, as for why the decision was made not to air the hearing, Committee on Rules Chairman Senator Roy Respicio says Senator Rodriguez's hearing was not televised because he did not have subject matter jurisdiction. During the hearing, legislative staffer John Paul Manuel testified in his personal capacity that the hearing was illegal.
Here's what happened when Rodriguez tried to hold that hearing.
Under open government law, it says that public notice of a public hearing shall be given 5 working days.
And that was followed.
That was unfortunately not followed.
That was followed. Mr. Manuel, if you have any other testimony on the procedure, I'm going to ask you to send it to me in writing, and we'll entertain it at that time. Thank you very much.
Legal counsel says this is an illegal hearing.
Mr. Manuel,
Legal counsel
I'm not going to
says
say
this
it
is
again,
not
that I'm going to
within
stop
the
you
law.
from doing that testimony, and you can send me a written testimony. Okay, thank you very much. We'll have for those of you who are here.
This is another example of an illegal hearing
Mr. Sergeant at Arms,
that is putting raises and retros outside of the rules of public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. Any questions?
Senator Respicio tells KUAM had it been televised, nothing would prevent any other senator from doing the same thing. We should add Underwood is holding a public meeting on her Bill 243 Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. in the public hearing room. That too, however, will not be televised. And this isn't the first time Senator San Nicolas has been accused of holding bills in his committee. Senator Tommy Morrison last month withdrew his Bill 280 after he accused San Nicolas of, quote, dragging his feet on bills he believes don't comply with the San Nicolas way or the highway style of leadership, end quote. He further said San Nicolas demonstrated the characteristics of a dictator in holding hostage not only bills, but confirmations as well. The Guam Election Commission was packed as several candidates signed up to duke it out for several seats up for grabs in Decision 2016.
Excitement fills the air.
It's like a competition.
Even before the doors to the Guam Election Commission were officially open, candidates were already lining up.
I want to be the first one.
Tuesday officially marked the start of Guam's favorite pastime.
It went smoothly and the staff did a very good job.
In less than 1 hour of opening their doors at 8 a.m., the GEC processed 14 applications in the mayoral contest alone. Several returning champs filled out the paperwork, like Umatic Mayor Johnny Canata and Santa Rita Mayor Dale Alvarez.
I'm running for mayor because I know I'm doing an excellent job in the village of Umatic.
There's 2 Democrats and only 1 Republican, so I have to fight hard for this primary.
For others, this will be their first time to enter the political arena. Wayne Ujoa is ready to go toe-to-toe to capture the title of Talafofo mayor, while Annie Kenga is fighting for votes in the village of Pidi.
I believe it's time for a new era of leadership.
I can do a lot for the community, and I want to do it.
Decision 2016 features several contests, including election for senator, congressional delegate, and village mayor. And one big difference this year is salaries that have gone up for mayors and senators. Could it be motivation behind the increased interest in public service? Incumbent Inarajan Mayor Doris Lujan says it doesn't matter.
I don't know if it's the money, but I just want to continue serving. I don't care what the salary is.
The last day to get on the D16 roster is June 28th. And according to GEC Executive Director Maria Pangilinan, it's going to be a big one.
The interest is very high, which means we will anticipate for a very good election.
Well, we of course reported that late Sunday afternoon, 2 men were rushed to the hospital for injuries sustained in an accident at Smoke and Wheels weekend. While one is making a speedy recovery, the other was pronounced dead hours after the incident. And as Crystal Paco reports in our next story, event organizers have launched an investigation.
Event organizers of Smoke and Wheels Weekend are putting the brakes on all motorsports activities at the raceway. That is, until they complete their investigation into Sunday's incident that left 1 volunteer dead. In an official release on Tuesday, the Guam Racing Federation issued a rundown of the events leading to the fatal accident. It was Sunday afternoon during the final lap of the off-road open buggies and trucks endurance race when a racing vehicle overturned in the corner of the track. That's when the chief race marshal responded and followed protocol, by parking his safety response vehicle in front of the overturned race vehicle to protect it. 2 other volunteers assisted, and officials alerted oncoming racers to slow down and proceed with caution. This is done with a yellow flag warning. Despite the warning, one vehicle didn't slow down in time and collided with the parked safety response vehicle, leaving 2 injured. Guam Regional Medical City spokesperson Kevin Kerrigan previously confirmed with KUAM that one of the patients was pronounced dead at 7:08 p.m. Sunday. Family identified him as Jesse Solis of Agate. The other patient, Lester Van Meter, remains in critical but stable condition. In response to the accident, Guam Racing Federation General Manager Henry Simpson issued the following statement. Quote, "On behalf of the Guam Racing Federation and the entire racing community, our hearts go out to the families that were affected by this tragedy. It's a very sad day for the racing community and the people of Guam. We want to thank these gentlemen who have been committed to assisting our racing community with volunteer efforts and the hard-working medical staff who responded to this tragic incident. A full investigation is underway," end quote. The Guam Police Department has also launched an investigation. On Tuesday afternoon, Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Aurelio Espinola conducted an autopsy on the victim. According to Espinola, it was hard to pinpoint the exact cause of death because the victim sustained multiple injuries to his chest, abdomen, and pelvis. The manner of death was ruled accidental. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
Well, they are a group of scientists that travel around the world exploring undiscovered parts of the deep ocean for the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. KUAM's Isa Baza took a tour of their research vessel and has more on their next expedition.
It's a research ship that will be departing on a series of expeditions through the Marianas.
The Oceanus Explorer is the only federal ship dedicated to the systematic exploration of the world's deep oceans.
From April to July, the ship will conduct 3 trips in and around the Marianas Trench Marine National Monument and the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. Commander Mark Wetzler.
The Marianas is an interesting region geologically because it's where the Pacific Plate comes in and subducts, helps create the trench. And then you also have some heat generated as the 2 plates guide over one another, which creates a volcanism along the Marianas and along the back arc.
Wetzler hopes to see hydrothermal creatures surrounding these volcanoes, organisms scientists know very little about. Expedition coordinator Kelly Elliott said the crew will use both sonar and remotely operated vehicles to explore the 95% unknown ocean.
We have a 2-body remotely operated vehicle. Its name is Deep Discover, or D2 for short. And yes, that is a little bit of a play on R2D2.
Mechanical engineer Dan Rogers said the $5 million machine can go up to 6,000 meters below the surface.
And that covers about 90% of the ocean floor. And obviously that additional 10% that we can't cover, a lot of that is in the Marianas Trench because that goes down to 11,000 meters.
D2 comes equipped with high-definition cameras and LED lighting and can even collect biological samples.
We can take a very small branch of coral and bring it up to the surface so that scientists can analyze its DNA, and often we collect samples of new species that have never been seen before.
Geological lead Dr. Deborah Glickson said the expedition will begin in the southern Marianas and will eventually work its way north, where less data mapping is available.
We're going to be focusing on fisheries, precious corals. We're going to be looking at resource management. Then we're going to be looking at hydrothermal vents. We're going to be looking at mud volcanoes, and we'll also be looking at deep benthic communities.
Thanks to telepresence technology, anyone around the world with an internet connection can live stream and participate in the expedition from home by visiting the Ocean Explorer website. The ship set sail on its first expedition Wednesday morning. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Isa Baza.
Speaking of modes of transportation, the Guam Regional Transit Authority Executive Manager Rick Augustine is doubling down in his spat with the Department of Administration over procurement of a new air conditioning system for his agency's office. He told board members they should approve a $5,800 payment to the contractor and let the government fight over the red tape.
One of the remarks from DOA is, why don't you just have the vendor come here and take out the ventilation, they cut the air conditioner and rebid this item. I think that's ludicrous. Because one is going to cost us to remove, they're going to charge us for removing it, they're going to charge us for now, it's not a brand new air conditioner, and they're going to charge us for that. For us to now go out and bid it, we're creating an unnecessary emergency condition.
DOA says GRTA did not follow proper procurement procedures,
This particular-
but Augustine countered that it's a lingering problem with DOA. For example, he claims if he waited on them last year, GRTA would have lost out on $700,000 in federal ERA funding to buy new buses.
After months of closure, pool goers can get back into the swim of things, whether you're on a swim team, want to take your child to swimming lessons, or just feel like doing a few laps. The Agana pool is back up and running. Crystal Paco reports.
Just in time for summer.
It's something that's long awaited. You know, of course, I apologize to the community of Guam for the delay.
For the last 8 months, the Agana pool was closed mostly due to repairs on the motor. Starting Tuesday, Department of Parks and Recreation's Director Robert Lazama says pool patrons can return to their favorite spot.
So coming down and cool down.
Approximately $273,000 in repairs and renovations were made during the closure. Hotel occupancy tax bonds covered the motor repairs, and gaming tax funds covered the rest, like renovations to the restrooms, shower and locker rooms, and to the pool shell.
When the pool was drained, that's when we realized that that's where a lot of cracks are at. At the same time, that's evident with the water bill that we have to pay, you know, because of course the constant leak.
Swimmers can also take advantage of extended hours thanks to additional lighting.
We're realizing now that we're able to at least extend beyond 6 o'clock on weekdays and have it all the way up to 8 p.m. at night. We have lighting now that's in the pool, you know, donated by MDA. We thank them for their generosity.
Prior to reopening on Tuesday, Governor DeCalvo took a walkthrough of the renovated facility.
This is a commitment for our administration to improve the quality of life for everyone in this island, and that also means many of our recreational facilities and our parks.
For this week and for this week alone, pool goers can purchase their pool passes at the entrance. $2 for a day pass or $10 for a 6-day pass. Starting next week, Tuesday, however, you'll have to drive up to the Department of Parks and Recreations in Agana Heights to purchase your pool passes. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
Stay tuned. We're back with more news in a moment.
Stay connected to the world at home from everywhere you are. Get the KUAM News app for the latest in local news, videos, sports, streaming, Isla 63 AM, weather, and more. Available for free now at the iTunes App Store or Google Play.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens,
it's a beautiful day.
We rely on the people we trust,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's a beautiful,
who we can always count on,
beautiful day.
and the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on Calvo's Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need wherever you are. Calvo's Select Care, healthcare that's always there for you.
When you come to Chuck E. Cheese's, you can see what's new.
New fun! New games! New cousin! What's new? New awesomeness! Where a kid can't be a kid!
The Down Syndrome Association of Guam exists to support families of individuals with Down syndrome. We're a group of parents who have children with Down syndrome and know the joys and challenges of raising them. For more information about the health, development, and education of a child or adult with Down syndrome, please contact Vicky Ariola at 472-6114.
Spring into summer savings with Triple J Auto Group. Hot deals and up to $1,000 cash back just in time for summer spending. Get unbelievable deals in all 2015 and 2016 models. Hondas, Acuras, Fords, Mazdas, Lincolns, Volvos, Kias, and used cars. New cars as low as $98 per paycheck and used cars as low as $85 per paycheck. Now's the time to buy during Triple J's Spring into Summer sales event. Get pre-approved instantly at carsguam.com. Trade-ins welcome. Some conditions apply. See dealer for details. Triple J Auto Group. Customers first.
Follow KUAM News on Twitter or become a fan on Facebook to get all your daily headlines from Guam's News Network.
We are back, and you are watching Primetime right here on KUAM. The commander of the U.S. Navy's Pacific Fleet has visited Naval Base Guam and answered questions from sailors. Amy Forsyth has more in this week's installment of Touching Bases.
Sailors asked tough questions during an all-hands call with the commander of U.S. Navy's Pacific Fleet April 15th. They asked about educational benefits, when the Marines are moving to Guam, and about the increasing prices at the commissary.
Well, the common questions are common questions, so it falls into two broad categories. One is quality of service and one is quality of life. And a large part of my responsibility as the Pacific Fleet Commander is to make sure that we're looking after both those issues.
It was an open mic for a packed house of more than 1,000 sailors and Navy civilians at the base theater during their week-long tour of the Pacific.
The questions that they weren't familiar with, didn't have much information. They didn't give out false information, which is truly important. And being able to tell us they will get us the answers down to the deck plate, I think is very good. I think overall, I was appreciative for being here. I was glad to ask the question. I'm glad he entertained it. He entertained my question.
The Admiral and Fleet Master Chief Susan Whitman spent their day on Guam meeting with sailors and addressing their concerns, saying that most sailors really end up loving their tours on Guam, but there's a bigger push to improve services and quality of life under the Go Guam initiative.
The enthusiasm that sailors have for serving here in Guam, both from a mission perspective and a quality of life perspective, was overwhelming. There's issues that are brought up. I mean, that's what I expect sailors to bring up to me so that I can get after those challenges. But by far and away, sailors are very happy to be serving here in Guam.
It was Admiral Swift's first visit to Guam since taking command of the Pacific Fleet a year ago. You can learn more about the mission of the U.S. Navy's Pacific Fleet at www.cpf.navy.mil. Reporting from Naval Base Guam, I'm Amy Forsyth.
Amy adds that more and more military leaders will be visiting Guam as the military buildup picks up steam in the coming months. First, the House last week and today, the Senate Appropriations Committee approves $248.6 million for military construction projects in Guam for fiscal year 2017. Congresswoman Madeline Bradalio comments that the Senate's approval of the president's budget request reaffirms the bicameral support she's worked to build in Congress for the Marine realignment and the progress we continue to make on the broader Asia-Pacific rebalance strategy.
Well, Black Construction is the newest major sponsor of FESPAC. The company is sponsoring the Black Construction Vendor Village, including 40 steel huts with thatched nipa roofs worth nearly $160,000. Senior VP and General Manager Leonard Ka'ai and FESPAC Organizing Committee Chairperson Nate Benight.
I think for Black, our participation on this program stems 58 years ago when Black first originally came to Guam, and we felt compelled to provide a little assistance.
This donation that they'll be giving will be housing our vendors, our local vendors, meaning Guam products, also off-island vendors coming in, as well as artisans.
FESPAC begins in 33 days.
She's been with First Hawaiian Bank for almost 30 years, but an announcement was made today that Senior Vice President and Region Manager for Guam and Sinamai, Laura Lynn Dakanai, is retiring. Elected as her interim replacement is Ed Untalan, who is currently the Senior Vice President and Mighty Banking Manager. Dakanai's last day is April 30th.
Staying with island business, Shell Guam and the Bank of Guam have announced a new partnership designed to save drivers some money.
And my favorite card,
Do I get a discount with this card as well? This card you do as well.
That, if you didn't know, was Bank of Guam's Kim Cook and IP&E's Brian Bamba delivering the message in a very unique way. Motorists who gas up a Shell and use a Bank of Guam Visa or MasterCard get a 6% discount on their purchase of fuel.
Today's a real important day as we launch a partnership together with the Bank of Guam. And the partnership it's one it's fitting for us as a company. We've made significant investments and provided employment opportunities. And the Bank of Guam's vision and commitment aligns well with IP&E's.
The announcement was made during the grand opening of the 5th Foodies convenience store at the Shell station in Hagåtña. The Foodies concept is designed especially for Guamanians, featuring a modern, comfortable design, fresh quality products, and of course, the ever popular beer caves.
Well, stay tuned. Sports is coming up next.
Hurry in to the GTA Smartphone Super Sale event. We've dropped our prices on our most popular smartphones, like the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge, starting at $49. Save up to $300 on the S6 Edge Plus and Galaxy Note 5. Or get the Galaxy S6 starting at free. But that's not all. Find more amazing deals on your favorite devices at the GTA Smartphone Super Sale event. Check us out before it's too late. GTA, your island, your network.
The spring clearance event is on at Cars Plus and Mighty. Now's a great time to save thousands on new Hyundais, like the 2016 Hyundai Accent, starting at $12,995 or as low as $79 per paycheck. The Accent gets 38 mpg on the highway, is USB and iPod compatible, and comes with a Bluetooth hands-free phone system. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with Guam's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. It's Cars Plus spring clearance event going on now in Mighty. See our entire inventory online at carsplusguam.com. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Insure your auto or home with Alpha Insurers and get more chances to win awesome prizes with Alpha's Switch, Spin, and Win. Alpha Insurers will draw 3 winners every week and 1 monthly grand prize winner to spin Alpha's prize wheel for a chance to win an iPad mini, flat screen TV, gas cards, and so much more. Just switch or renew your auto or home insurance with Alpha Insurers and you automatically qualify. It's that easy. Call 477-8701 or 637-8833 for more details and you could be a winner for Alpha's Switch, Spin, and Win.
Most fast food places use formulas to create their combos, but all that math doesn't always equal something tasty. At my place, you can get a mouth-watering sourdough bacon ranch combo. A full-size beef patty, bacon, and creamy ranch sauce on toasted sourdough bread, plus hot and salty fries and a drink for just $4.99. Because flavor always beats formulas. Sourdough bacon ranch combo, just $4.99 for a limited time. Combo's done my way.
A well-put-together man is said to be sharp. At GMC, we get why people appreciate that kind of precision. After all, precision is the kind of sharp that slices through a crowd. This is the precision of performance.
Voy a
August Sotelo, 15 for Justice. Royster, 22 points. Roki Charfaris, 18 points. Good game for Roke. And Oscar Espinosa, 13 points. Team Justice now 4-3 in the GBA. Marianas Open, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, gi only kids results in the 5 to 6-year-old division. Kara Piper of Carlson Gracie taking gold. 40 to 48 pound bracket. Caden Mendiola of Figo, first place. 49 to 55 pounds. Ethan Leon Guerrero of Figo gets the gold. 56 to 63 pounds. Elijah Castro, purebred, taking first. 64 to 69 pounds. Tristan Iglesias, purebred, gold. 70 to 73 pound bracket. Stussy Shimizu, a purebred, gets the gold. Eli Pakaigui, Ben Borja, William Ludwig, Larale Gandali, Ama Taitano, Castore Cuevas, Zar de la Cruz, Dawson Arceo, Christian Duke, Lance Corpus, also taking gold in their respective divisions at the 2016 Marianas Open. I tell you, man, that's cute. Kids Jitsu. All right, we'll leave you with that. Anything sports, hit up our sports director, Dave Delgado, on the EM. That's show at KUAM.com, show without the W. But you know me, I hope you get that dub. My name is Chris Barnett. You keep on shining, Guam. Until tomorrow, adios.
Are you ready for Nissan's 16th annual Easy 1040 refund event, offering refunds up to $9,000 with your new Nissan, or use it towards your down payment on Nissan's hard-working, hard-body Frontier King Cab starting at $115 per pay period. Your new Frontier is a proven workhorse on or off the road for just $115 per pay period. The Nissan Easy 1040 refund event going on now. Take your guest drive today at Nissan Upper Tumon or discover more details at nissanguam.com.
The new Money Monopoly game is at McDonald's. With 100 million food and cash prizes, 1 in 4 wins.
100 million prizes. That's more prizes than all the Scottish Terriers in the U.S.
More prizes, more chances to win. Just peel, win instantly.
Yeah, I just won $50. Just won a quarter pounder with cheese.
Or collect pieces for a chance at $1 million in other cash prizes.
Or
the new Money Monopoly game at McDonald's. 100 million prizes, 1 in 4 wins. You could be the one.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
It is time where we light the candles, metaphorically, so that you can blow them out, because today is your birthday, and you are the newest members of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. And of course, we are talking to Edward Cabrera, first and foremost. Happy birthday, Uncle Ed. Say your favorite niece, Loriana, and the kids.
Happy birthday going out to Nathaniel Pinzon, celebrating his 4th birthday from the family.
And also tonight, happy birthday from KUAM and the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Happy Sweet 16 to Sheena Munya.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Just check us out on KUAM.com.
There is a wonderful episode of Healthy Living coming up next. Chris and Issa will teach you how to make rainbow hash. You want to see that? Have a pen because you're going to want to take notes. That's coming up.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&D.
Hafide, and welcome to the Healthy Living edition of KUAM News Extra. I'm Isa Baza, so glad you could join us. Coming up in tonight's show, we tell you about National Stroke Awareness Month happening this May. Up next, we have Cooking with Chris and Isa to give you kitchen tips for eating healthy. But first, here's this week's Health Check Report with Joan Uggan-Charfaris.
Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
The public is encouraged to get into your medicine cabinets and gather all your unused and expired prescription drugs for the National Take Back Initiative that is scheduled for Saturday, April 30th. This allows residents to safely dispose of medications. Unused or expired prescription meds are a public safety issue leading to accidental poisoning, overdose, and abuse. Believe it or not, pharmaceutical drugs can be just as dangerous as street drugs when taken without a prescription or a doctor's supervision. According to reports, the majority of teenagers abusing prescription drugs get them from family and friends and the medicine cabinet at home. Events such as the NTBI allow for safe disposal. Unused prescription drugs thrown in the trash can be retrieved and abused or illegally sold. Unused drugs that are flushed can contaminate the water supply. Proper disposal saves lives and protects the environment. From 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., again on Saturday, April 30th, Island residents can drop off unused or expired prescription medications at the following locations with no questions asked: Naval Base Guam, Agana Shopping Center, Agate Village Mayor's Office, Anderson Air Force Base, and Dedito Village Mayor's Office. For more information on prescription drug abuse, you can head to the following web pages: www.dea.gov, getsmartaboutdrugs.com, and justthinktwice.com. With this week's Health Check Report, I'm Joan Uggan-Charfaris.
Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Thanks, Joan. We have more on National Stroke Month after the break.
This program is brought to you by GTA, your island, your network.
Hurry in to the GTA Smartphone Super Sale event. We've dropped our prices on our most popular smartphones, like the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge starting at $49. Save up to $300 on the S6 Edge Plus and Galaxy Note 5. Or get the Galaxy S6 starting at free. But that's not all. Find more amazing deals on your favorite devices at the GTA Smartphone Super Sale event. Check us out before it's too late. GTA, your island, your network.
The spring clearance event is on at Cars Plus and Mighty. Now's a great time to save thousands on new Hyundais, like the 2016 Hyundai Accent, starting at $12,995 or as low as $79 per paycheck. The Accent gets 38 mpg on the highway, is USB and iPod compatible, and comes with a Bluetooth hands-free phone system. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with Guam's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. It's Cars Plus spring clearance event going on now in Mighty. See our entire inventory online at carsplusguam.com. Cars Plus, driven by you.
At Island Cancer Center, we treat our patients and their families like our family. We have all been touched by cancer, and it is important to feel comfortable and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
Hafide, the Guam Memorial Hospital Volunteers Association is celebrating its annual charity ball fund drive at the Hyatt Regency Guam Grand Ballroom on Saturday, April 23, 2016. This year's theme is Action Meets Compassion, Changing Lives. Please join us and help us raise funds to create an environment for healing and recovery for every patient.
Hafid, and welcome back to Healthy Living. I'm here at the Guam Regional Medical City with Dr. Scott Shea, who's going to tell us about National Stroke Month and the new stroke program here at GRMC. So can you tell us about this new program?
Yeah, so I started work here in January of 2016, and I was brought in to start an endovascular stroke program, the first of its kind in this region. May next month is National Stroke Awareness Month, so I think it's an appropriate time to discuss an important medical problem that's has a fairly high frequency rate in this region.
Okay, so for people who don't know, what is a stroke and what are the signs of a stroke?
So there's an acronym that we try to teach people. It's FAST, F-A-S-T. So we're looking for like a facial droop, arm weakness, which can be to the point where they can't move it at all, speech abnormalities, and the T stands for time. Time is brain. Obviously, their strokes can be manifest with different vision changes, loss of balance in different regions of the brain, but the big ones are face, arm, speech. Keep it simple.
Okay, and I know you mentioned that timing is a big factor. Your response time to get to a hospital, you need to do that as soon as possible. And there's a new type of surgery that you can do here at GRMC. It's called the endovascular stroke intervention. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so in the setting of stroke, you only have so many hours, a handful of hours to actually remove clot. Here you can see blockage from a clot, and we removed it in 40 minutes, restored flow to all the downstream vessels. If you wait too long, the downstream brain tissue is already non-viable, and so restoring flow to dead brain doesn't help, and actually it can actually hurt things because of what we call reperfusion hemorrhage. So we have about 8 hours for the anterior circulation, 8 hours from the onset of symptoms. So it's imperative that when people start having symptoms like we discussed, face, arm, speech, to immediately activate the EMS service. And because we're the only hospital that can do the mechanical thrombectomy, where we can come from the top of the leg artery, go up into the brain and remove clot, restore flow, they should be routed to Guam Regional Medical City.
Okay, and I understand that you just performed this surgery for the very first time in Guam about a week and a half ago. So how did that go for the patient?
Yes, we had a 71-year-old woman who was at the local community center a few minutes away from the hospital, and right after lunch, she kind of slumped over, lost movement on her left arm, left leg, also had facial droop and some speech difficulties, the classic presentation. She was rushed over to our emergency department after a quick CT scanning to make sure there's no bleeding in the brain, and a second CT scan to show that there was a blocked vessel due to clot. She was immediately transported up into this room where we effectively remove the clot, restore flow to the brain, and by the next day she had full use of her arm and leg. She had a mild speech, slurred speech, and her facial droop was very hard to distinguish. So she was basically a walkie-talkie, whereby otherwise she would have been rendered dependent for the rest of her life.
So it sounds like it was definitely a really successful surgery. And we're actually here in the operating room, and we have your team behind you. So it's definitely a team effort to do this type of procedure.
Absolutely. This procedure is minimally invasive. It's a Band-Aid procedure. I very seldom use general anesthesia. In this particular case, we're referring to a week and a half ago, there was no general anesthesia utilized. And we have a team approach. We had the room set up in 7 minutes, and like I said, the procedure took 40 minutes to perform. And we had 2 people scrubbed in, we have another person circulating, and we have all the personnel in the back in the kind of control area working the equipment to allow us to do this procedure quickly and safely.
Okay, so what type of personnel are needed for this type of procedure?
So we need to have nurses that are very experienced in assisting angiographic procedures with handling devices, catheters, guide wires, syringes with different types of medication. We have to have nursing personnel who can monitor the patient, because we are giving the patient some sedation medication, looking at the cardiac activity, saturation, and those kinds of things. And then we have to have the personnel that can actually work the highly technical equipment.
Okay, and like you said, stroke is an issue that's fairly common in the community. Almost everyone knows someone who's experienced a stroke. So what advice do you have for people in the community? What should they do to help prevent strokes?
So risk factors for stroke include the same risk factors for coronary artery disease, peripheral vascular disease. So blood pressure control, cholesterol control, diabetes control. There's other risk factors that are cardiac. In this particular case, the patient had what's called atrial fibrillation, where the heart's not beating correctly. That's one of the more common causes. So she was an undiagnosed atrial fibrillation type patient. So there's some patients that just, don't have a risk factor that's known. But the most important thing is if they're having any kind of neurologic changes, even mental status changes, to immediately call 911 and get immediate medical attention.
All right, well, thank you so much, Dr. Shea, for bringing this great program here at GRMC. Obviously, like he mentioned, it's very dependent on risk factors. You can eat healthy, live a healthier lifestyle, eat healthier. And actually stay tuned because up next we have more healthy cooking tips for healthy living after the break.
Ruby Tuesday now gives you more for lunch. Endless trips to the Fresh Garden Bar, plus add-ons, mini combinations, and even new meal options. It's the new lunchtime menu, available Monday to Friday until 2 p.m., only at Ruby Tuesday.
A beautiful, healthy smile is an expression of confidence. The more confident you are about your smile, the more likely you are to fully express your feelings without having to worry about the way your teeth look.
Before cosmetic dentistry, I didn't smile as much. I didn't have the confidence, and it shows. And since I've had cosmetic dentistry done, I feel 10 times more confident. I make my initial introduction with a nice big smile and a handshake, and I just feel like it really is a relationship builder, a nice warm smile, and it makes the clients and customers feel more comfortable with you, feeling confident, and they feel that you're not just there for business, that you're also there kind of as a friend as well. So I mean, it's amazing how powerful a smile can be. A good smile.
Since your smile makes a significant impression on those around you, it is important that it makes the impression you want it to make.
Hi, and welcome back to Healthy Living. Well, a healthy lifestyle begins in the kitchen. And to cook a healthy dish, all it takes is a little bit of experimentation. So I'm here with Chef Extraordinaire, Chris Barnett.
Well, Issa, you're too kind. I don't know about Chef Extraordinaire, but I do love being in the kitchen. And you're right. You'd be surprised how much flavor healthy cooking can have. I used to eat a lot of meat, but, trying to live a healthier lifestyle, cooking with vegetables and cooking without meat, I'm surprised by how savory our dishes are. And, I want to share this dish with you today. I call it a rainbow hash because, they say eat a rainbow. But to eat a rainbow, first you got to cook a rainbow. So we've got some really beautiful ingredients, and I'm really excited to share this dish with you.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the ingredients in the rainbow hash.
Well, the first ingredient in this rainbow hash is local sweet potatoes, or kamuti. And you were telling me just how healthy sweet potatoes are. That just makes me want to eat more of them.
So sweet potatoes are really high in vitamin A and vitamin C. They're also high in potassium, dietary fiber, niacin, and B1 and B2.
Wow. So the next ingredient, and this is kind of where the rainbow comes in, is red, yellow, and orange bell peppers.
So red bell peppers have the highest amount of vitamin C of all the pepper family, and they're also really high in beta-carotene, which has antioxidant and anti-inflammatory benefits, B vitamins that are essential for growth and development, and also niacin, fiber, protein, and iron.
The next ingredient is really one of my favorites. I started using this ingredient a lot in the last couple years, kale.
We all know that kale is a superfood. It's actually one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. So it contains everything from vitamin A, C, K, B6, and more. It's also loaded with antioxidants that can help lower cholesterol and nutrients that are good for your eyesight.
That's great because, I pretty much quit using spinach. I feel like kale has a lot more body to it, and it's got a lot more texture, and it just is so much more rich tasting. And kind of rounding out this rainbow hash, I've got some nice red onion.
All right, well, red onions provide a significant amount of vitamin C and B6. They're one of the best sources of chromium, which help control glucose levels, and they contain a flavonoid called quercetin. If you don't know, quercetin is an antioxidant that can offer protection against cancer.
Wow, all of that. And, for the protein replacement, because a lot of people, when they go veg, they wonder, where am I going to get the protein? So we're going to use some nice local firm tofu.
Tofu is gluten-free and low-calorie. It's also a great source of calcium and, of course, protein.
All right, and we talked about this, before the shoot, what kind of oil to cook all this in, and it was a toss-up between olive oil and butter, which you were saying kind of has a bad rap.
Butter does have a bad rep, but if you look at new studies, it shows that butter is actually, in moderate amounts is better than the, what's it called?
Fake stuff.
Better than the fake stuff.
And so, but we decided on using extra virgin coconut oil, which I think adds a lot of great flavor. And, with the rhino beetle, it's kind of getting scarce to get the local extra virgin coconut oil. So I actually picked some up at Payless. And this is really good stuff, right?
It is. So let's get started. Can you take us step-by-step through the process of cooking rainbow hash?
You got it.
Okay, step one is chopping up and cooking the potatoes because they take the longest to cook.
Right, and these are from Rhoda.
Keeping it local.
Keep it local. It's funny when you get friends that go to Saipan, you ask them to bring back ice keki, but when people go to Rhoda, it's always like, bring me back some kamuti. And I really love the color in here. The more you cook these, the more purple it gets. And some people like to take off the skin. I don't. Of course, it gets solid at room temperature. Use about a tablespoon. And coconut oil is pretty healthy, huh?
Yeah, some people think that coconut oil is really unhealthy because it's high in saturated fats. But it's actually a great oil to cook with, especially if you're cooking something with a high smoking point, something that you need to really fry.
Always kind of like to feel the heat there, maybe drop in a little test piece. Yep, that looks pretty good. We want to kind of get these evenly coated over the bottom of the pan. I'm going to go ahead and put this red onion in there. But I love the feeling of getting like a nice long red bell pepper. And you want to stir this from the bottom, you know what I mean? And you go ahead and throw that in there. And this is kind of a one-pan dish, but, again, if you have extra time and you want to, saute some peppers and put them in the fridge so they're ready to go, that's always a good idea. I feel like the longer you cook these peppers, the more flavor comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how healthy hot peppers are, but they sure taste good. I just give it a real rough chop. Just like that. One of the big things on the fiesta table is the hogansuni, which is the spinach and the coconut milk.
Mm-hmm.
I tried making that with kale, and man, I was like, move over spinach.
Really?
And a little bit of curry powder, but just a little bit. You know what I mean? Curry powder, of course, has that ginger. It has turmeric. We're just going to do up this tofu real quick, which, you know, it's kind of just an afterthought. It doesn't even need tofu. We're just going to cut this up here. What do you think, 2 pieces? So I don't know where you get your tofu, but ours doesn't come brown. All right, and that is good. Now, butter, of course, doesn't have as high a smoking point as... I just figured, what the heck. Then we're going to go ahead and take this here. All right, Issa, well, here you go. Rainbow hash. That's kind of cute. Issa means rainbow in Chamorro. So,
wow, that's really good.
The peppers, you know, provide a lot of color. Of course, the bed of the sweet potato, the purple of that, the red onion, the kale.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Chris. It's been a pleasure cooking with you. Anyway, well, stay tuned. We'll have more healthy living after the break.